Anselmus Cur Deus Homo. Book First, Chapter 12. Whether it were proper for God to put away sins by compassion alone without any payment of debt. Anselm. Let us return and consider whether it were proper for God to put away sins by compassion alone without any payment of the honor taken from him. Also, I do not see why it is not proper. Anselm. To remit sin in this manner is nothing else than not to punish. Since it is not right to cancel sin without compensation or punishment, if it be not punished, then it is it passed by undischarged. Also, what you say is reasonable, and some it is not fitting for God to pass over anything in his kingdom undischarged. Also, if I wish to oppose this, I fear to sin, and some it is therefore not proper for God thus to pass over sin unpunished. Also, thus it follows, and some there is also another thing which follows if sin be passed by unpunished, viz., that with God there will be no difference between the guilty and not the guilty, and this is unbecoming to God. Also, I cannot deny it, and some observe this also. Everyone knows that justice to man is regulated by law, so that according to the requirements of law, the measure of award is bestowed by God. Also, this is our belief. And some, if sin is neither paid for, nor punished, it is subject to no law. Also, I cannot conceive it to be otherwise. And some, injustice, therefore, if it is cancelled by compassion alone, is more free than justice, which seems very inconsistent, and to this is also added to a further incongruity, viz., that it makes injustice like God. For as God is subject to no law, so neither is injustice. Also, I cannot withstand with your reasoning, but when God commands us in every case to forgive those who trespass against us, it seems inconsistent to enjoy a thing upon us which it is not proper for him to do himself. Answer: there is no inconsistency in God's commanding us not to take upon ourselves what belongs to him alone. For to execute vengeance belongs to none but him who is Lord of all. For when the powers of the world rightly accomplish this end, God himself does it who appointed them for the purpose. Also, you have obviated the difficulty which I thought to exist, but there is another to which I would like to have your answer. For since God is so free as to be subject to no law, and to the judgment of no one, and is so merciful as that nothing more merciful can be conceived, and nothing is right or fit save as he wills, it seems a strange thing for us to say that he is wholly unwilling or unable to put away an injury done to himself, when we are wont to apply to him for indulgence with regard to those offences which we commit against others. Answer: what you say of God's liberty and choice and compassion is true, but we ought so to interpret these things as that they may not seem to interfere with his dignity. For there is no liberty except as regards what is best or fitting, nor should that be called mercy which does anything improper for the divine character. Moreover, when it is said that God wishes is just, and that what he does not wish is unjust, we must not understand that If God had wished anything improper, it would be just, simply because he wished it. For if God wished to lie, we must not conclude that it is right to lie, but rather that he is not God. For no will can ever wish to lie, unless truth in it is impaired, nay, unless the will itself be impaired by forsaking truth. When then it is said, if God wishes to lie, the meaning is simply this: if the nature of God is such as that he wishes to lie, and therefore it does not follow that falsehood is right, except it be understood in the same manner as when we speak of two impossible things. If this be true, then that follows, because neither this nor that is true, as if a man should say, supposing water to be dry, and fire to be moist, for neither is the case. Therefore, with regard to these things, to speak the whole truth, if God desires a thing, it is right that he should desire that which involves no unfitness. For if God chooses that it should rain, it should rain, it is right that it should rain. And if he desires that any man should die, then is it right that he should die. Wherefore, if it be not fitting for God to do anything unjustly or out of course, it does not belong to his liberty or compassion or will to let the sinner go unpunished who makes no return to God of what the sinner had defrauded him. Also, you remove from me every possible objection which I had thought of bringing against you. Answer. Yet observe why it is not fitting for God to do this. Also, I listen readily to whatever you say.